Hi, everyone. I'm Mykal Slack.
I'm Alex Kapitan, and we're the co-creators of the online course Trans Inclusion in Congregations.
As a way to help you all get to know the course a little bit better, we wanted to come in here and just tell you a little bit more about the course, some of the course specifics, and respond to some questions that we've gotten.
So thanks for being interested in taking it. A lot of folks have found it really useful. We're really gratified that something that we created has been so useful to so many folks in congregations, and we hope that you find it useful too. When we first recorded this course, we were really at the beginning of a journey of creating a collective called the Transforming Hearts Collective, which is
Yes.
four of us. It's not just me and Michael, it's also Michael's honey, Elena Romero, and my
Yep.
partner, Teo Drake. And all four of us are called to support and create spaces where queer and trans people, particularly folks of color, working class folks, and disabled queer and trans folks, can access spirituality, resilience, and healing. And so, one of the things that Michael and I feel really strongly about is helping congregations be those spaces.
That's right.
And that's really a lot of what's at the heart of this course.
Absolutely. Transforming Hearts Collective does a lot of really beautiful work that we feel blessed to have an opportunity to do. Lelena and Teo are really engaged in a lot of healing justice work, specifically around trans folks living with HIV. And we're also helping to co create spaces of spiritual resilience and care and healing for queer and trans folks. We all knew that we wanted to help support each other in doing the work that we felt called to do. And Transforming Hearts Collective came to life as a result of that desire and hope for ourselves and for each other. So we wanted to tell you just a little bit about how this course came to be. This trans inclusion in congregations course is really about so much more than trans inclusion. For years, both Alex and I were asked to come and teach in UU congregations and other faith settings about trans people, right? People wanted to understand the vocabulary, they wanted to have all the language, they wanted to learn what the right things to do and to say were. They wanted to have all of the knowledge that one might need to have to understand trans folks, which for many of those folks was new and unfamiliar terrain. But these, what might be considered 101 type courses, where folks are understanding what the word transgender means, for example, we were finding really weren't working very well. I am a trans person. I'm also a Black person. I'm also a person who grew up in the South. And I was finding that these 101 courses were speaking to one aspect of me, but not to other aspects of me. We tried to remedy that with this course.
Yeah, similarly for me, I was raised in a Unitarian Universalist congregation, and that was a really beautiful thing for me as a young queer and trans person growing up in an explicitly welcoming faith. But at the same time, I have never found in 30 years of being a UU a church where I felt like I could bring all of who I am forward and really feel like my cultural experience as a
Mm,
queer and trans person was affirmed in that
right.
space. Not just that I was allowed to be there and that it wasn't going to be an actively violent space for me, but
Yes.
but I'm looking for something more than just the promise that I won't be told I'm going to hell. So like Michael said, we as educators and as organizers and as faith leaders felt as though we kept encountering people and congregations and spaces trying to gain knowledge about one facet of identity, but
That's right.
not being able to understand how to integrate that knowledge into spiritual practice.
Right.
You know,
And how to build relationships with people across all of the ways that we might be different from one another.
exactly,
It's so important.
exactly. The other thing that's true is, particularly within Unitarian Universalism, this denomination has made a real commitment to being a welcoming space for LGBTQ people for
Hmm.
more than 30 years now. The
Right.
Welcoming Congregation program started in 1990 to help congregations make intentional progress toward being actively welcoming and inclusive
Hmm.
of first lesbian, gay, and bisexual people, and then trans people as well. And as a non-binary and queer person myself, who's raised in Unitarian Universalism, who's been part of this faith my entire life,
Hmm.
I don't actually feel as though we have lived up to that commitment as a faith. Most congregations went through the program around 2002 to 2006 and haven't revisited it since.
Hmm.
And we're failing a lot of LGBTQ people,
Right.
particularly LGBTQ people with multiple marginalized identities.
That's right. That's right. We have to move away from the notion that you can check a box, that you can take a course or a workshop and check that box off and be done with the work. The work is ongoing.
Yeah.
So our hope is that we can move the needle a bit
Yes.
toward where we say we want to be.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and I believe, I know Alex believes, and others who have taken the course believe that what we're offering here, what we're doing to be in relationship here, can help us get there.
Yes. It's a 6 session course, and each of those sessions has a lecture by me and Mykal, some supplemental resources that are
Yes.
pretty brief but really help take the conversation deeper. And it includes some discussion and reflection questions. Anyone who has good facilitation skills can help facilitate conversations with the prompts that we provide in the course. You do not need to be any kind of expert on trans people. That is not the goal of being a leader of this course in a congregational setting. So the first 2 sessions are really all about grounding and getting grounded in context and history and personal journey around gender and welcome. The second 2 sessions are all about expanding our understanding of gender and getting some real understanding of the lived experiences of
Hmm.
trans people and also trans spirituality. And
Right.
the final 2 sessions are all about culture and
Hmm.
how to shift it. And we offer some really great tools that you can use to think about your congregation's culture and how to start to shift that culture to be trans affirming, but also affirming of all sorts of different experiences across lines of difference.
That's right. The course really takes everyone who participates in it on a journey, starting with theological grounding for welcome, the denomination and your particular congregation's gender story. And it also matters that folks are able to bring their own experiences of gender into the mix of learning and growing together. Trans people and non-binary folks are not the only people with gender. We offer some pretty expansive frameworks around all of these things. And the hope is that folks are able to have deeper conversation about culture, about difference, about the difference between understanding welcome as a superficial kind of friendliness and understanding welcome as a spiritual practice.
This course was created with Unitarian Universalist congregations in mind
Hmm.
because that's a tradition that Mykal and I have some roots in. But it is really designed for any group of folks from a congregation or individual leader from a congregation that is generally welcoming of LGBTQ folks.
That's right.
So we've had UCC congregations take the course and
Hmm.
appreciate it. We've had at least one Quaker community take the course, a Mennonite community take the course. So it is definitely very versatile, and we would
Yeah,
love to chat with you if you're not Unitarian Universalist and you're interested in making this course work in your context. We'd love to have a conversation with you about how to do that well and how we can help support you in that.
that's right. If you're down for love, justice, and liberation, this is a course for you.
Yes,
This is a course for
yes.
you, for sure.
And as you might be catching on, what's also real about this course is that it's not just for people who are total novices to
Hmm.
this conversation. We wanted to create a course that was almost an immersion type of experience.
Yes,
So
that's
what
right.
you'll get when you take the course is a little bit like this video. You know, it's Mykal and me having conversations with you and
Hmm.
with each other, and we provide the resources that will help you keep up and catch up with us if you are new to this conversation. But it's also a course that plenty of trans people ourselves have taken and appreciated, as well as our family members and everyone in between.
Right,
So it
right.
really is a course for everyone.
Yeah. And with respect to the resources, don't feel like you have to read every single word of every single thing, but we took a lot of time. We have vetted everything. We know that it's good and that it's worth taking a look at. It's good stuff.
we also keep the resources up to date. So we
Yes,
first recorded most of these lectures 3 years ago now. We have re recorded one of the lectures
that's
to
right.
update it, and we also have kept the resources up to date. So the course itself is very up to date. We put
And
that
it's
out.
part of our commitment to continue to do that for the life of
Yes.
the course.
We want to share a little bit about what happens when a congregation purchases the course because that is really what we designed this for. It works really well for individuals, and we've had a lot of individuals purchase the course, particularly religious leaders.
Hmm.
It's really good, particularly if you have a couple of other folks that you can take the course with and discuss the course with. It works
That's right.
really well. But our hope is that groups of people from congregations or whole congregations will engage with the course. When a congregation wants to purchase the course, how it works is there's a sliding scale because everything we do is sliding scale. We really have a commitment to integrating economic justice into our work.
Hmm.
So our sliding scale for a congregation purchasing the course is $400 to $800, and our
Right.
recommendation is the low end of the scale is for congregations with less than 100 members and no endowment, and the
Hmm.
high end of the scale is for congregations with more than 500 members or an annual budget of 500,000 or more. And when a congregation purchases the course, all it needs to happen is one person from the congregation buys the course online on our online platform, and
Hmm.
then we will send that person a code, a coupon code that everyone else in the congregation can use to access the course at no additional charge. And that means
That's right.
everyone who's part of your congregation now and everyone in the future. So someone could join the congregation 3 years from now and have access to this course. You retain
That's right.
lifetime access to the course and you can run it as many times as you want to once you've purchased it. And everyone who's taken it can return to the content in the course as often as they want to.
Also, if you want to preview the course, you can purchase it as an individual. And if you decide that it's not a good fit, you can get a full refund, no questions asked, within 30 days. If you decide that it is a good fit, we can subtract what you've paid from the price your congregation pays at any time. It matters that we know how people are feeling about the course, what people are getting out of the course, any concerns that people have about the course that will help make the course better, right? And so if you want to have a conversation about something, you have a question about something, we're happy to check in about that.
We are totally here for you anytime, either in your discernment process leading up to maybe purchasing the course, in your plans for running the course, or even after you've taken the course together and you have questions that come up. You can reach out to us and we'll be excited to talk to you.
One of the things that you'll learn as you're taking the course is that relationships matter. We're excited to be in a relationship with you beyond the course itself. We prioritize working with congregations that we are in relationship with and who have made a real commitment to transformation and culture shift.
Yes.
And so know that if questions come up along the way beyond the course, check in with us by email. Let us know how things are going. If something really incredible is happening in your congregation as a result of having taken the course, we'd love to hear about it. It matters to us how we're all doing. It doesn't just matter to us that you take this course because we offered it. It matters that we're growing together. And so, in whatever ways that you may need or want to be in a relationship beyond this course, we're happy to go there with you.
So we hope that you will consider engaging with the course, and we're so excited to hear from you about what your experience is.
Absolutely. Take care, everybody.